So David, what is Windows 10X?
Windows 10X. I heard about it a few years ago. We
Well,
had
a
a
few
small.
years
They had,
ago, this
yeah,
uh,
this is
it,
it was like last year or something like that. It was like
yeah,
last
it
or
came
2 years
out.
ago.
It came out with the most recent Surface announcements.
Yeah, so it's like a trimmed down
It's
version. I
about a year
believe.
old.
I believe it's like a trimmed down version of Windows, like Windows 10 for like their mobile devices
Is
that
it
they're
meant for
trying
dual
to do.
screen devices?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's just for dual
Oh,
screen devices.
Yeah, it's here.
I'm-
It says right here on the article. Windows
Yeah.
10 is designed exclusively for foldable and dual screen hardware.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
we'll see
also
how that works
foldable.
out. It'll just be Well, if you have foldable, it's still one screen. All right, so it's just they're trying to adapt Windows, like a
Do you think
desktop
this would
version of
be
Windows.
used on? Do you
to
think
a
this would be
mobile.
used on tablets at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, this would be
this is
for
a
the Surface
tablet
devices.
OS. This is like a tablet OS,
This would be
Well,
entirely for the Surface devices.
but
if
it's
the service. Well, because their Surface devices are all two-in-one right now.
Their
They
eventual
could
Surface
easily
devices.
do a foldable, but I feel like they'd have the window. I feel like they wouldn't do a. It would be under a different name. Under a different nomiker.
Nomenclature.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Like
looks a
the
lot
Windows.
more. It looks like a better attempt than the Windows 8. Remember that?
Well, we don't need. I think anything is a better attempt than Windows 8. Let's be real.
It will run. It will run like 32-bit software as well. I think it's being built for ARM or x86, but it will have a container for it based off of right here. It'll run Win32
So
apps
it's
in a
not
lightweight
gonna be-
virtual container.
It's not gonna be 64-bit.
I believe it's going to be an ARM based. It's either ARM based or x64 because
Well,
32-bit is falling off the map.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
well, I mean, there's the Surface X that's ARM based. Microsoft is kind of moving in that direction because ARM is
It's a lot lighter.
it's
a lot lighter. It's just
more,
that there's
more
a
power
bunch of-
efficient.
It's just not as like there's like it's like Risk, okay, like Risk 5. Remember that? It's just a new instruction set that is. If you're going to do something like build for new hardware, all right, you need more efficiency. You might want a like less complicated instruction set.
Though the biggest issue with running ARM and especially with the Surface X is that it has to emulate 64-bit processes, so
Yes.
it's a lot jankier on the Surface X at least
Yeah.
at the moment than as an implementation than say like what will eventually be on the market for like the Windows 10X is a perfect example of software being developed specifically for ARM powered devices. I assume
Because
that next generation
look
Surface X will be put with
they
Windows
have like a
10X.
demo of like Word on it over here. So you see, so you have like the keyboard and everything down here, and you have like the actual program up here.
Yeah, so this looks 100% like it's going to be on the Surface Duo or maybe even a skin on the Surface Duo when that comes out soon. It'll probably also end up being on the Surface Pro X. This probably functions in two parts. Windows 10X will probably end up being used as the GUI will probably end up being used as the Android skin for the Duo, and when the larger version of the Duo, the foldable laptop comes out, the dual screen foldable laptop comes out, it'll be used on that. Because I believe that'll end up being
Well,
ARM-based.
if you look
And
at
then we
the
have Surface Pro
devices that
X.
they use up here, all right, they had that one dual screen device.
Yeah,
right?
the left looks like the Surface Duo, and the right looks like the laptop.
It looks like a little tablet PC.
Yeah.
So, this is like the platform they're developing for. It's not like a desktop operating system. All right, but the UI looks interesting enough. It looks simple enough. There is a desktop. There is a simple desktop. You have like the start button. They're made a little bit bigger, and you have like a settings button. It's very something like straightforward. It's a very straightforward OS. It looks like to me.
Oh, what a wristband that runs Windows with a whole screen around a wristband.
God no.
It was in October that they announced it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the new the name of the laptop that they're releasing. Microsoft Surface event 2019.
I do see this working out more. I do see this working for the devices it's made for. All right. I don't. And it's a good thing that they're building a separate OS for it. Okay. They're not trying to fuck over the desktop users.
Surface Neo. The Surface Neo was the laptop
Fucking over
style.
the desktop users is what they're best at, by the way.
Anyway, the Surface.
Oh, we all know that they already had put out 2 updates that already gave BSD to a bunch of people and deleted files again.
Yep.
You
But,
Bang this week.
Guys, the Surface Neo is the name of the laptop that they announced at the Surface event in October last year.
Is it this one
And
right here?
That's what that is right there.
Yeah.
The Duo is the Android. Yeah, is the Android phone. Just for reference, figured that would clarify some stuff. So I figure the Surface Pro X and the Surface Neo will be ARM-based systems, and that will make having to use a quote-unquote emulator for processes less important because they have a custom, or not custom, they have a desktop amongst other things prepared for it now.
Well, it's definitely well they're as you can see they're using the new version of Edge on here. So
Chromium, yeah.
There's
you
a
won't
new,
you won't
the new Chromium.
yeah, the new Chromium version of Edge. So I
I'm
don't think
not
Google
happy about
Chrome will
that.
be a necessarily download here because they're gonna have like basically an ARM version of it built right in. So the less you can use the emulation on this thing, if there is, I believe if it's built for ARM, I'm not entirely sure yet. Pretty sure it's built for ARM or like a low powered x80 x64 system.
I can't see why it wouldn't be.
Alright, but it's very interesting. Like here's another UI test from it. Like you can see this is a start menu. That's it. You get your basic stuff. It's basically just an app launcher. Like it should be. Alright, and then you have like a dock. It's like Windows and Mac OS had like a weird like offspring built for a two screen setup.
I would say it
Because it has
doesn't
the
matter.
dock at the bottom, like Mac OS, where you can just put stuff on, and then have a desktop on top of it.
I mean, but
Very
Windows
similar to like
tablet-
GNOME 2 on
Windows
like
tablet
Linux.
mode looks like that too, though.
yeah.
Like, have you ever used a 2-in-1, David, for home Windows?
God no. I
Alright,
am
well-
fine with my laptop.
I have a Flex 14, so it's
I have
got
a
the new
Surface Pro
Ryzen
3.
3500U in it, 12 gigs of RAM, and it's amazing. I can play games on it if I really want to. It's got FreeSync, although
I wouldn't do
have
it in
to have an
tablet
external
mode.
monitor. It's really for on the go.
Hey, it's better if they just build their separate OS from it because the separate OS, it's probably gonna run those the Universal Windows apps. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it gives them a way to actually give you a reason to use the store for once.
I use the store, but that's because I'm an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate member
Yeah, that's the only reason you use the store.
for games.
That's it. And it's only through Xbox Game Pass. That's all you care about. Otherwise, you can delete the store and not worry about it. Just go into PowerShell and delete the fucker. Anyway. It's a very interesting development. I'm a sucker for a nice, flat, interesting UI. So, this sort of tickles my fancy for it.
Tickles your pickle.
Shut up. Alright. But
Pickle Rick! No.
But just like looking at it, it's very simple. It's all you need. It doesn't have all like the crazy tiles taking up your screen all the time. Alright, it's very simple, and I like it.
It's a lot more clean than what the Windows 8, Windows 8.1, and their tablet
Yes.
mode look like.
It needs to be a clean OS for a mobile device, and it needs to be
Agreed.
separate. It needs to be separate, which it is.
It's a yeah.
It's a separate OS.
Yeah.
So, if those devices end up working out, it's going to be down to this OS for the reason they work out. Otherwise, the device itself is not interesting enough. It has to work well with this. But folding stuff is not the best news right now.
Yeah.